Thank you for checking out Lakehead International's videos. You're about to watch one of our Lakehead International live webinars, a fun and informative way to learn more about Lakehead while also meeting faculty, staff, and current students. If you have any questions throughout today's video, please comment below. Otherwise, let's get started. And with that, I would like to officially welcome you to Lakehead University and chat a bit about our institution and perhaps why you may be considering joining us this upcoming fall. For those of you who don't know, we are a small but mighty institution with strong rankings. We're number 3 or top 3 in Canada for research. We're the #1 university in North America with under 10,000 students. We're in Canada's top 5 universities, with actually being placed as the #1 university in Ontario in our category. What that means, or what it boils down to, though, is a really unique experience for our students in small classroom settings, a diverse student body, and strong employment outcomes. For those of you who are looking to learn a bit more about these rankings, you can, of course, visit our website. I'll dive into a couple of them, though, before we actually begin. So with a small classroom size experiences, for every 15 students on the Thunder Bay campus, there's one professor, and for every 13 students on the Aurelia campus, there's also another professor. That means that we have extra supports in place to support you through your Lakehead journey and make sure that you are successful. We have students joining us from across the globe, from over 80 nations, and we're really proud to have them represented on campus. What that small classroom experience, what the Lakehead experience with the diverse student body really means to us is that we're setting our students up for career success, and that's where we have one of the strongest employment rankings across Canada. At 97.4% of our students employed within 2 years. We're actually above the Ontario University average of 95.1. Of course, so choosing Lakehead begins with a big choice, and that is where to study in the world. And so that's where we dive into the conversation around choosing Canada. Canada is recognized as one of the top 2 best countries in the world, one of the top 11 most peaceful countries in the world. And we want you to have an opportunity to thrive in a safe and peaceful and inclusive society. Being one of the youngest or one of the younger countries in the world, we have always celebrated diversity and inclusion, and we feel that this peaceful nation is ready to embrace you. When you choose Canada, though, you're also choosing employment. So you'll have the opportunity to earn while you learn. You can take advantage of that by studying and working part-time up to 24 hours per week. Upon graduation, all of Lakehead University's degrees do prepare you for the maximum postgraduate work permit consideration of 3 years. Beyond that, even, of course, if you thoroughly enjoyed your Lakehead experience and your time in Canada, and we sure hope you do, you'll have an opportunity to pursue permanent residency and receive extra points towards that application by completing a university degree here in Canada. It's a big country, though, and so that's where we come to the idea of choosing Ontario, the #1 destination for international students here in Canada. You may be asking, why is it the #1 destination? There's some pretty simple answers. We have a really incredible education system here in Ontario. We have accredited universities, which promise you some really incredible academics, and these are accredited by the rigorous quality assurances of the Ontario Ministry of Advanced Education and Skills Development, so that you know that there's a strong value in the degree you're pursuing. As I noted earlier, we have a really strong employment rate here in Ontario. Lakehead goes above and beyond the Ontario average of 95.1 to secure 97.4% of our students employment within 2 years upon graduation. And housing is certainly available in our province, more specifically in our hometowns of Thunder Bay and Aurelia, whether it be on-campus residence for students at all levels, or perhaps securing off-campus accommodations once you've arrived. We are happy to assist in that process. With that being said, we're going to now dive into academics at Lakehead. Of course, what we're here today to discuss is the Faculty of Business Administration. But before we do that, I want you to take a sneak peek at all of the academic faculties that will give you a taste, perhaps, of where you could take some of your optional courses. But with that, let's introduce our special guests who have been sitting here patiently. I'll pass over to Dr. Kathy Sanderson to introduce herself, and then we'll go down the line, essentially.
Great, thanks. Hi, thanks, Jordan. Hi, I'm Dr. Kathy Sanderson. I'm an associate professor of human resources and industrial relations in the Faculty of Business here at the Thunder Bay campus. I'm also the chair for the first 2 years for undergrad students. So if you are coming into Lakehead and your first year with us in the Faculty of Business Administration, I will be your business advisor. Colin?
Hello, I'm Colin Gachura. I am a double alumni of the Faculty of Business Administration. I took the HBCom program that Kathy will tell you about. I'm also a graduate of the Master of Science Management program and current PhD student in education here at Lakehead. I am the operations manager of the Faculty of Business, and my role helps support the accreditations of our faculty as well as our graduate program. So I work in graduate admissions and I help support graduate students once they get here, help them figure things out and make sure that they're successful and have a good time.
I'm Subbu Shivaramakrishnan, and I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Business Administration. And if you don't know what the Dean does, the Dean oversees all aspects of the faculty. And I'm really happy to meet you all here today, and glad you could join us, and hope to meet you all in person very soon. Thank you for joining.
Thank you to the three of you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to sit down and discuss the benefits of choosing Lakehead for business programs. We have a lot to cover, so with that being said, I'll pass it over to Kathy to kick things off with chatting about our undergraduate programs.
Great. Thanks, Jordan. Yeah, so again, welcome. We're really glad that you're taking some time to learn about our business school. And so we're going to talk about both our undergraduate and our graduate programs today. But when we say 1 degree, we mean the Lakehead University business degree. And as Colin mentioned, I am also a double alumni from the Faculty of Business. So you can expect to see a good amount of bias in our presentation because not only am I thrilled to be able to work in the Faculty of Business, but I've been connected with them now for over 30 years, and it has been an absolutely amazing experience. So why do you need and of course want a Lakehead University business degree? So I'll start by saying that business degrees cross every single boundary, every industry, every country, every border, every career. It really is the most transferable degree. You can work in all kinds of organizations, public, private, government, and of course, you can start your own business. So the opportunities that are presented for business graduates really are endless. And then specifically though, why do you want to come to Lakehead University? So I think there's a few really fantastic things to highlight about our programs. The first is that we include hands-on practical learning throughout all of our business degrees. So you will have an opportunity to work on real life situations and business problems throughout your degree. And Sabu's going to tell you some more about those opportunities in a little bit. We also know that our graduates work absolutely everywhere. Anywhere that I go in Thunder Bay, I see business graduates, including businesses that they've started when you go to the city of Thunder Bay or Thunder Bay Telephone or any of our super large employers. Jordan, who's also with us here today, is another fantastic example of a Lakehead University business alumni. And so what else do we know about business degrees? So we know that about 5 years after graduation, about 40% of business grads are already in management positions. Now, if you start your undergrad when you are 18 or 19 or 20 years old, that means that before you're 30, you're already in a leadership position. And we know that the higher you move up the organizational structure, the more money that you make. And we also know that business grads start at higher levels in terms of income than most other fields. We also know that when you are considering your career path, that business is probably the most flexible choice that you can make. You might be like me. I started off working in training and development, and then I worked in mental health and addictions agencies. And from there, I actually did some management consulting and then ended up here at the Faculty of Business. And I used both my undergrad and my graduate business degree from Lakehead University in all of those positions. We also want to talk a little bit about our AACSB accreditation. And this really is quite a unique accreditation. Only 5% of all business schools worldwide can say that they are AACSB accredited. And so as a result, you are participating in a degree that has some elite and global recognition. So having an AACSB accreditation means that you have a level of assurance that our programs are delivered with the highest quality standards. So we get reviewed by external teams that make sure that our curriculum and the quality of that curriculum, as well as the individuals who are delivering that curriculum, are meeting a very rigorous international standard. We also know that coming from an AACSB accredited business school enhances your employment prospects worldwide, and that on top of already knowing that business produces some of the highest starting wages, we also know that AACSB accredited grads start about 10 or 15% higher in their first positions once they've attained their business degree as well. So you can see there that the degree is recognized everywhere, and it really does give you an advantage as soon as you graduate.
Can I say something as well?
Sure.
You will also be very hard pressed to find any schools around the size of Lakehead University that have the AACSB accreditation, which is very important because you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get these standards that the accreditation provides, but you also get to experience that small class environment and the small school experience that you won't get at a lot of other AACSB accredited schools.
I'll
That's a
add
really
on to
good
that.
point.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to note, I mean, I am a recent grad of the business program, and speaking in terms of an international setting, many students on today's webinar are probably coming from high school or the setting where they are familiar with classrooms, similar to us here in Canada, where 20 to 30 students are sitting in a lecture hall with their homeroom teacher perhaps, or their course specialist. And so with that being said, coming into the business program, most of our courses have students pursuing in the first year with classmates upwards of 50, maybe 60 in some cases. And those are considered our large lectures. But beyond that, going into my third and fourth year, that's where I was sitting with my professor and 10 to 15 other students, where I got a really in-depth knowledge and perspective from my peers and my professor. And I had a lot of opportunity to connect on a deeper level. And to further Colin's point, having that experience with the foundations that it's an accredited program is really incredible. But Kathy, I'll pass back to you, sorry.
Okay, so I also just wanted to briefly mention the transferability of a business degree and what you learn within a business degree. So a lot of the subjects and topics that you study, they are unbelievably useful for your career, for whatever job or position, or whether or not you end up owning your own business. These skills are going to transfer between organizations, but they also largely transfer into your life. Right? So learning things like critical thinking and how to solve problems, these are skills that we use in our daily life as well as our business life. Our degree is also going to give you lots of opportunities for networking. And I encourage you to take a look at at least the Thunder Bay FOBS social media, and you can see the kinds of networking opportunities that have been provided just in the last year, an opportunity to meet people not only for career connections, but also for our social connections. We also know that there's a huge amount of flexibility within this career. And shortly, I'm going to talk to you about some of the possible types of jobs that you can have with a business degree from Lakehead University. But we also know that business grads experience the very lowest levels of unemployment, lower than any other area. And we see this globally with business degrees. The other thing is that it's really important in life to understand money. And I am sure as we are recording this, we seem to be going through quite a period of turmoil in terms of what's happening globally with money. And this business degree helps to set you up not only so that you are making contributions that would financially help a business, but you're also going to learn lots of things that help you in terms of managing money and planning out your life. And of course, as I mentioned, and Sabu is going to follow up, you're going to learn real life skills here. So you are going to get to practice what you learn in class in um, case studies and participating with local employers in ways that um, you'll really be able to see how you apply that education into a business setting.
Can I just jump in with something here, Kathy? So I just want to emphasize that you might think that a business school teaches you about um, profitability and how to help companies make money. But that's not only it. We make sure that our education is well-rounded. So things such as environmental sustainability, contributing to society, these are all very important priorities for business education. So when you come out of the business school as a graduate, you understand what they call the triple bottom line, that profits, planet, people are all equally important, and you will learn that you cannot sacrifice one for the sake of the other. So that's a very important part of business training nowadays, and we make sure we emphasize that throughout our curriculum.
Thanks, Sabu. So this list I developed about a month ago, and I went through I've been at Lakehead University in lots of different capacities over the last 20 years, but I have been a full-time professor for the last 7 years. And I was thinking back over just the last few years about what kinds of jobs do the graduates from our program have. And I teach in both the undergraduate and the master's program. And so this list is actually, I could assign a name and a face to each one of these titles. I also could have included another 50 titles of students who I'm still in connection with and the kinds of jobs that they have. And so you can see from this list how diverse the jobs are. So we have some really traditional types of jobs that people seek after our business degree, like being an accountant, a project manager, or working in finance. But you'll also see a lot of other kinds of jobs like economic development, e-commerce managers, people who are doing research, people who are owning their own business. So there's all kinds of different career paths that you can take with our business degree.
Great, thanks, Kathy. So next we're going to take a peek at the undergraduate programs offered here at Lakehead University. I'll pass back to her to dive a bit deeper, and then we'll take a peek at the majors and minors also available.
Great. Thanks, Jordan. Yeah, so for our undergraduate programs, our STAR degree is our Honors Bachelor of Commerce program. Now, we also offer two other undergraduate degrees, the Bachelor of Commerce program, as well as the Bachelor of Administration. But I'm going to speak about the degree that I believe for international students is really it's the um, premier degree that we offer to our undergraduate students. It is a 4-year honors degree. Now, within that, there's also the possibility of the international dual degree, and we have 3 partner schools currently, and Sabu is going to go through some more details about that. But our Honors Bachelor of Commerce program is offered at both our Thunder Bay and our Aurelia campuses, although they do have some differences in terms of majors and minors. So here are the majors that are available within the Thunder Bay and the Aurelia campuses. You will see that Aurelia is a smaller campus. Our business program there is smaller, and we offer one major, which is business administration. However, in Thunder Bay, we have almost an endless list of majors. So we have our very traditional business areas of accounting, finance, human resources, marketing, and business analytics and information systems. And then we also have a few other majors that might not be as common in other schools, such as business economics, general management, and international business. You'll see that I've put little stars beside 5 of those areas. We also offer minors in accounting, business analytics, finance, human resources and industrial relations, and marketing. I should, however, point out that those minors are only available to business students, which is another huge advantage, of course, of being in the Honors Bachelor of Commerce, that you could, do your degree in marketing and then also have a minor in another business area like finance. However, at both campuses, you also could do your minor in a non-business area, such as economics or psychology or sociology.
Great, Kathy, I'm happy you mentioned that because I majored in marketing, but as you well know, I also have a minor in human resources management and industrial relations. And that's sort of where our paths crossed in the many
Yes.
courses I pursued to be in your class. But that just goes to show you, like we said, there's an opportunity for students to hone their skills really under that major that they're incredibly interested in, while still having an opportunity to fine-tune skills that are more specific to perhaps a minor. And there's also opportunity to go beyond that and perhaps pursue a double major even. That may extend your degree though. So we'll cross that bridge perhaps when students are in their second or third year as they continue to explore their options. Beyond that, though, when you wrap up your Lakehead University undergraduate degree, ideally your HBCom, or perhaps for those students that have already completed something similar or equivalent, or maybe drastically different, but are ready to move into that graduate level of studies, that's where we have Colin here to chat a bit more about the graduate programs offered by Lakehead University's Faculty of Business Administration.
Thanks, Jordan. So we have 2 main programs that I want to talk about. The first being the Master of Business Administration, the MBA, those 3 letters that everybody's probably pretty familiar with. And in our MBA program, we have 2 options. We have a condensed 12-month option that's really great for people who want to just dive headfirst into their graduate business program and get their degree and get out and work afterwards. And then we also have a 16-month version, which is also a condensed program, but it allows students to take an extra semester of time. And year by year, the courses that we offer in that extra semester as part of the advanced studies in management specialization, they do change. This year in particular, students are very interested in business analytics courses. So we are trying to focus our offerings in that area to give students what they want. Another benefit of the 16-month program is if you you do have a spouse or a family and you want to bring them with you, at least currently, with regulations, your spouse can have a working permit and help support you while you're here doing the program, which is very important. We want to support our students, but we understand that sometimes family is really the best way to make that happen. We also have an MBA with Bachelor of Engineering option, and that is a 5-year program. So for those of you who may be interested in engineering, but want to add a business focus to it, in your final 2 years of that program, you mix your engineering and business course and MBA courses. And so that is also an option. We also have another degree called a Master of Science in Management program. It is a research-based program. So you can either do a thesis or a research project option. Again, this is where I am a graduate of. And in this, you do independent research with the support of an expert, a faculty supervisor. So now that I've talked about the two main options, I just want to kind of go over what's the difference between the two and which one might be right for you. So I'll start with the entry requirements. And they have very similar entry requirements. Both require you to have an undergraduate degree already. The biggest difference, though, is the Master of Science in Management program is geared towards graduates of business programs. So if you already have a business degree, the Master of Science in Management program might be a great option for you. If you don't have a business degree, or if you do have a business degree and you just want to get more experience and you prefer the MBA option, the MBA is for students from all backgrounds. So if you have a background in arts and engineering and sciences, you can apply to do a master's in business administration. In terms of the focus of both programs, well, based on those entry requirements, the MBA is comprehensive. So it provides a comprehensive understanding of all business areas and how to integrate into operations and how to be a manager. So you're going to be learning from the ground up at a higher level than undergrad about all of the functional areas of business, including HR, including marketing, including finance and accounting and operations. In the Master of Science in Management program, it's expected that you already have a solid foundation on those. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be learning about the academic side of business and research in business. And you're going to be using your prior experience to move forward and focus in a particular area of research that is up to you and your supervisor. So in terms of that focus in the curriculum, what we do in the MBA program, it is a course-based program. So you are learning via contemporary case studies and now integrated with real-world opportunities. In the Master of Science in Management program, you are looking at seminal research, but also very current research in your area of focus. And in terms of how this might look in your potential career, both are management master's degrees or business master's degrees. Both are going to qualify you for many, many different career opportunities, as Kathy talked about before. Basically, in any industry, there's a manager. And both of these degrees will set you up very well to move into a management position if you're not already there, or move up further. One of the key differences with the Master of Science in Management being a research-based focused, it also could potentially set you up if you want to continue in academia and do a PhD program in the future. It might be preferable from some programs for you to have a research-based master's degree. That's not to say that people haven't done an MBA and then gone into a PhD, but typically it's preferred that you have a research-based degree. And then the other thing is, if you are wanting to be a manager and you have particular research in an area based on your Master of Science in Management degree, it might allow you just to focus where you want to be in management a little bit more based on where you've done your thesis or your research project.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing more, Colin. Next, we'll pass it over to Subu, who's going to share more about hands-on learning opportunities, studying abroad, how to get involved, and then he'll also touch on what to anticipate when you arrive in our beautiful hometowns of Thunder Bay or perhaps Aurelia. So I'll pass it over to him.
Thank you, Jordan. So here at Lakehead University, we strongly believe that your education does not stop with the classroom. And we fully recognize in the Faculty of Business Administration that employers want well-rounded graduates who know much more than just what they have learned in the courses. So how much you want to do, what you want to do is completely up to you, and we strongly encourage you to utilize the opportunities. Well, I'm going to take a few minutes to tell you what those opportunities are. So for instance, we have co-op internships. So that means you can you can work in a company and it's a paid opportunity. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second while you are doing your degree. And then you have the option to study abroad. You have the fantastic experience of going and spending time in another country, in another culture. I'll give some details about that as well. Inactus Canada is a student club here. It's a Canada-wide club, and we have a chapter here at Lakehead University. And you have the option of being part of that. And of course, that's not the only club. There are many different student clubs that you can join, and I'm going to give you some details about those as well. So I'll be talking about the co-op internships. So what is co-op education? It's basically what otherwise is called work-integrated learning. That means you learn the theoretical aspects in a course, but then it's nice to have the opportunity to go apply that in a organizational setting and bring that learning back to your subsequent courses. And that's what co-op education is about. You have the option of doing just a one-term internship, or you can do up to 12 months. And our students generally who do the co-op get jobs faster, and they also get higher paying jobs as a result. Very often, the companies where they do their co-op is where they end up getting their permanent employment. So these are just some of the companies where our past students have done their co-op. As you can see, these are very well-known organizations. And this is something we strongly encourage our students to participate in and make use of the opportunity. Next, I'll talk to you about international opportunities. And so we have something called a study abroad program or international exchange program. It can be as little as one term or as much as a full year. Now, you can choose to go in the regular terms. So here at Lakehead, we call them the fall and the winter terms as our regular terms, or you can go in the summer. And what that means is you go to another country, to a university there, one of our partners, take courses over there, and those courses will count towards your degree here. So you don't lose any time. And plus, the best part is you're not paying tuition to that other, the university in the other country, because you've already paid tuition here at Lakehead University. So that's an amazing opportunity. And the cultural experience that you get, your perspective of life is broadened, and you'll come back a very enriched person. Now, if you do want to do more than just one term, you can spend a full year in France, Germany, or UK, and our list keeps expanding. And that's our international dual degree. And the international dual degree is where you go spend 1 year with one of our partners. Currently, we have three, France, UK, and Germany. And the best part is you get 2 degrees. So you get a degree from them and you get a degree from us. So it's exactly the same 4 years that you would have spent otherwise. And you come out with 2 degrees at the end of it. And again, as I said before, the best part is also that you don't pay any additional tuition, because that's all already part of our agreement with our partner institutions. And again, it's an amazing opportunity. And keep checking back, because our list of international dual degree partners is expanding. Next slide, John. Okay, now what about if you wanted to do things which are extracurricular in nature? Well, we have, this is just a small sample of the types of student clubs that you can participate here at Lakehead. So LUSU is the Lakehead University Students Union, which is a university-wide club which you can join, and it's a wonderful experience for students to be part of that. Enactors, as I mentioned, is a group which tends to have more of an entrepreneurship focus. So it's about coming up with ideas to start a business, and especially businesses that might help society, help the planet. It's a very nice group to be part of. Kathy earlier referred to FOBSA. FOBSA is the Faculty of Business Students Association. Very, very energetic, very enterprising group of business students. They conduct a variety of programs, events throughout the year. Just recently, they had a networking event where more than 70 businesses attended. And these are wonderful opportunities for students to gain managerial type of experience, but by working with other students. Now, BOSS is the student association at the Aurelia campus. FOBSA tends to have more of a Thunder Bay focus, whereas BOSS, which is Business Aurelia Student Society, is the equivalent on the Aurelia campus. So we encourage you to get involved in these kinds of clubs because, again, as I said earlier, we believe that learning goes far beyond the classroom. So we have two campuses, as Jordan referred to earlier. We have one in Thunder Bay, which is Northern Ontario, just north of Lake Superior. And our other campus is in Aurelia, which is in Southern Ontario, just an hour away from Toronto. Both of them have varying kinds of opportunities for you, both in terms of fun things to do, in terms of education-related things to do. So I'll just talk a little bit about more of the things that you can do of an extracurricular nature. So Thunder Bay has some incredible outdoors. So does Aurelia. So the picture you see on the top left, that's Lake Superior. As you know, it's one of the largest lakes in the world, and Thunder Bay's the campus is located right at the banks of Lake Superior. In the summertime, you can go boating, fishing, and you can. That hill you see at the far end, that's a sleeping giant where you can it's a park where you can go. And the picture you see in the bottom left, that's Mount McKay. If you're adventurous, if you're the kinds who enjoys trekking, you have the opportunity to do that. And many of our students do indeed do that. Now, on the top right, skiing. You'll see all four seasons, whether you are in Thunder Bay or Aurelia. We have these fairy tale type of Christmassy winters. We have a lovely spring. We have an absolutely delightful summer. And in the fall, you get to see stunning colors. So you get to experience all four seasons, regardless of which campus you are in. And the picture on the bottom right is from Aurelia. Again, a lot of outdoor hiking, trekking, fishing, camping, and skiing, skating, and so on that you can do, regardless of which campus you are in.
Another benefit that I just want to point out, you see the ski lift there, and we talk to students who enjoy snowboarding or skiing, and when they go back in their hometown, it's a 2 or 3 hour train ride to get to the ski hill. It's a 15-minute car ride to get to either of our ski hills in Thunder Bay. And that goes the same with a lot of other of these outdoor activities. So you really have the opportunity to experience it, and you don't have to make a whole trip out of it. You can just do it when you want to.
Yeah, and don't let the winter scare you either. Winters are delightful if you get involved in some outdoor activities. I come originally from a country which has, I'd never seen snow in my life, and I absolutely relish it here. Again, if you embrace it, you really do get to enjoy it.
For sure. I'll add on to something both of you mentioned is the access to these opportunities is essentially second to none in our opinions. Our campus locations conveniently place our students in hometowns where recreation is something that we live and breathe. So, of course, you're coming for academics and your number one focus will always be your program, but getting outside of the classroom and exploring and experiencing new things is really important. Our student unions will help facilitate some of those experiences. Some of the clubs that we've talked about will help facilitate that. Beyond that, our international team will even help you acclimatize to Canada and segue to your new hometown. But I'll pass over to Subu to chat as we wrap things up here and talk about blending of cultures and something that you'll get to experience as an international student coming to Canada, perhaps for your very first time.
Absolutely. When I first came as an international student, I wanted to do things of North American, Canadian flavor, but at the same time, I wanted to remain connected with my community. And I find that that's absolutely possible, both in Thunder Bay and Aurelia. So whether you want to celebrate the Festival of Colors, say with the Indian community, or you want to go to a place of worship, whether it be a mosque or a temple or a church, you have those opportunities. If you wanted to participate in a powwow with the indigenous community, you have that option as well. That picture you see at the center at the bottom, that's the magnificent Thunder Bay Auditorium. So if you wanted to go experience a symphony or a ballet or other concert, you can do that here as well. Now, if you're in Aurelia, you're just an hour away from Toronto, which means you have numerous things that you can do in Toronto. So all those are available to you. Now, I can't speak about Canada without speaking about hockey. So if you wanted to watch a hockey game or even play it or go skiing, you can absolutely do that. And the Lakehead Thunderwolves, that's the name of our team. They're very active in hockey, and you have the ability to do that as well. By the way, we do have a lot of ethnic restaurants and ethnic grocery stores. So no matter which country you are from, you will have the ability to stay connected with your culture, with your community, yet experience many things that are Canadian in nature as well. That's why I call it a blend of cultures. You don't have to give up your identity when you live here. You can experience the best of both worlds.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing more about the anticipated experience. Of course, to our audience, you will only believe it once you see it, I guess. And so hopefully this webinar will help you as you navigate your choices as to where to study in the future. If you have any questions, of course, you know where to find us. But on the note of questions, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our three special guests from the Faculty of Business for joining us. This will conclude the formal presentation.
Thank you all. And once again, thanks for joining and hope to meet you all here in person soon.
I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, I want to encourage you to comment below or connect with us on social media. We can be found at Lakehead International on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Thanks for watching once again, and hopefully we'll see you at the next live webinar. Bye for now.